Hi students, welcome to my channel, English with Miss Pineapple. My name is Cristina, and in today's video, we're going to be looking at propositions of time in, at, and on. Now we're going to begin with the first proposition of time, which is in. In is always used with months. For example, our wedding is in September. Or, I am going to Italy in August. The preposition in is also always used with years. For example, Amy graduated from university in 2012. Or, Shakespeare was born in 1564. Now, the preposition in is also used with decades. For example, we could say, life in the 1940s was very different. Or we could also say, big hair became popular in the 80s. In could also be used with centuries. For example, we are living in the 21st century. Or, I was born in the 20th century. We also use in with parts of the day. For example, I have lunch in the afternoon. Or, I finish work in the evening. And finally, the preposition in can also be used with seasons. For example, why do flowers bloom in the spring? Or I start school in the fall. Now let's move on to our second proposition of time, on. On is used with days of the week. For example, I will visit you on Friday, or I have a test on Tuesday. On can also be used with dates. For example, my birthday is on April 15th, or our anniversary is on the 20th. Now, in Canada and in the United States, we use the preposition on to talk about holidays. But remember, if you're talking about holidays in the UK, they use the preposition at instead. For example, we could say, we are visiting some friends on New Year's Day. On New Year's Day. Or, I am traveling to New York on the weekend. And if you were using the preposition on with British English, you would be using at instead for both of these sentences. Now let's move on to our final proposition, which is at. At is always used with the time of day, night. At night. If you remember, for the other parts of the day, we use the preposition in the morning, in the afternoon, but with night, we always say at night. It's an exception. For example, we could say, I'll be home at night, or I did my school project at night. At can also be used when referring to specific times of the day. For example, I wake up at 8 o'clock, or she got home at midnight, or class ends at noon, or finally, I start work at 9:40. Now, as I mentioned before, at can also be used when talking about holidays, but in the UK. Remember that if we're talking about holidays using American or Canadian English, we are going to use on instead. So an example of at referring to holidays, we could say here, I will be visiting my parents at Christmas. Or I am going to Vancouver at the weekend. At can also be used with meal times. For example, I am taking a break at lunchtime. Or, we always have a salad at dinner time. And finally, we'll talk about it at breakfast tomorrow morning. Now I have prepared for you a little quiz to practice everything that we've learned today. All I want you to do is to pause and try to fill in each gap with the correct proposition. Once you're finished, press play again and we'll go over all the answers together. Now let's take a look at how you did. Here are the answers for 1 to 10. Let's go. The film starts at 9 o'clock. He starts his new job on Monday. Christmas is on December 25th. I brush my teeth in the morning and in the evening. I'm celebrating my birthday on the weekend. I do some yoga to relax at night. It's really hot in the summer. Don't worry, we'll discuss it at dinner time. Your doctor's appointment was in March. Matt's pet turtle died in 2015. We've reached the end of the video. Now, if you still find propositions a little bit tricky and would like to learn more about them, or if you just simply enjoyed this video, don't worry because I'll be making some more videos on propositions in the future, so stay tuned for those. And I will see you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for future videos. Mwah! Bye for now.